Hey there, my name is Calista B reporting for Kids First, age 15. Welcome to 2019, everyone, and today we will be taking a look at Reign of the Supermen. So, this is the sequel to The Death of Superman. Oh yeah, this is kind of important, so spoiler warning for The Death of Superman. Superman dies in this film. And in the wake of Superman's death, 4 new superheroes, all taking on the name of Superman, appear, and the problem is each of them all have a different perspective and ideology as to who Superman is. And because of this, they all end up at each other's throats, as they also believe that they are the definitive Superman. However, they must put their differences aside as an alien threat appears to destroy the Earth. So this is an animated film, so how is the animation? While I did like the animation as there was a lot of clear effort put into it and the fight scenes were really enjoyable, I don't feel like the animation stands out that much. I felt like the art style was pretty basic and so were the colors, as it just looks like a normal city. This isn't necessarily a bad thing though, as the art style seems to be trying to emulate the DC Comics style, which I did think was cool. I do like the animation, I just think that in comparison to the story and writing, it just doesn't stand out that much. Speaking of the story, I've watched quite a few of the DC animated films, and while I've enjoyed them, I just felt like this movie kind of engrossed me a little bit more. I don't know why exactly. It might be just the 4 new Supermen who all have such... They're all so different from each other and they all have such compelling personalities, and there's a lot of good drama in between the 4 of them, along with characters like Lois Lane. I just felt like this movie was just so much more entertaining to me than the previous DC animated movies. I still like those movies, but I just feel like in comparison this movie is much better. And actually, speaking of Lois Lane, so I'm a huge DC Comics fan, and it seems pretty agreed upon with all of the DC Comics fans that Lois Lane is really not that great of a character, even though she's so iconic. Most of the time she's just the damsel in distress, and even though there were situations where she was a superhero, A, those were either alternate universes or dreams, and B, no one seems to really talk about them because I didn't even know there were times where she was a superhero until I was doing research on Lois Lane for this review. So it's actually really nice to have a version of Lois Lane that is sort of the central focus of the story, and it feels a lot more natural from the way the story is written, given that her journalism is kind of her superpower in the story, given that she does a lot of like almost detective work because she's doing a lot of research into what this alien threat is, and she's honestly like the main focus of the story when you really think about it. Plus her performance is really good. Shout out to Rebecca Romijn. She does an excellent job as Lois Lane. And honestly, I think one of the issues I have with the modern DC live-action films is that they try to be both funny and dramatic, but they don't have like a good balance of the two. This film does, and I personally feel like that's because of the characters, because all of them just have such clear personalities and they work so well off of each other, and it is just really funny. And surprisingly, Green Lantern seems to be the comic relief. Usually it's the Flash, which... that did kind of confuse me as someone who loves The Flash, but Green Lantern is still really funny, so, I mean, it works! So I would give this film a 4 out of 5 stars and would recommend to ages 13 to 18, and if you're a DC Comics fan, I would just recommend this movie in general. It comes out on January 29th. That will be it for this Kids First review. If you like it, make sure to check out the Kids First website, and of course, all the other Kids First reviewers. Let's make this 2019 a great year, everyone, and I will see you all later. Bye-bye.